crap, I was worried I have 30 minutes left. Why do I have low storage again? Oh, that's because for the past week, well, technically yesterday, I've been filming clips of me, I don't know. I bet y'all can take a hint. Hopefully I'm able to make a video about it, which is why I'm recording clips, which you should be able to see by this Friday, hopefully. I don't know, I've already got videos planned to make this week. But this is one I should have already had made. Technically, kind of last week, around, after I had saw the movie again, twice as of right now, but just... And, alright, speaking about, Beetlejuice. So, yeah, I know I did a poll on the community page of wearing a costume, because I still happened to come across by it while I was on a shopping spree for materials to redesign my Optimus Prime costume for Transformers 1. Unfortunately, that costume is for little boys. And I ain't a little boy no more. I mean, I thought, oh, yeah, I could just buy it right now instead of getting on Amazon. Nope. No, this thing is large for little boys. I am way too big now, unfortunately. But hey, at least I got a shirt. But I am a little bummed out that I didn't get to dress up as Beetlejuice. But hey, at least I have a shirt for this video. And, this is what I wore to go see Beetlejuice Beetlejuice at an early screening on September 4th. But it's a bummer that I didn't get to dress up as him, because I actually like the dude. But I did run into him recently when I went to go see it again 2 days later. Here's proof right here. I'll be sure to bring this up later on. But with that being said, hello everyone, welcome back to another double review on the channel. So yeah, I don't know if I've brought this up on the channel. I have never seen the first Beetlejuice movie, well, until recent in preparation for number 2. And actually, funny story, I was in the middle of watching the first one, but I did not finish it in time, and I ended up, because we were on a rush to go watch the new one, and basically I watched about half of the first one, and then the entirety of number 2, and then the last few minutes of the first movie. I did not plan this well. I should have watched it way earlier, probably around when Mom wanted me to watch it with her when they released the trailer for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. And having to see both movies, yeah, I figured why not do a double movie review, because I've done that at least a couple of times on the channel. The last one I did was The Crow, which I had made about a couple weeks ago that I should have posted around that time period, but still though. But having to see both films, I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on both Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. And I said his name 3 times. Well, it's showtime. So yeah, I don't have much nostalgic with Beetlejuice. My mom grew up watching the first movie. I was aware of this movie, it's just never piqued my interest. I mean, I probably have seen a little bit of it, but was still I mean, I'll watch, okay, I've seen a few scenes here and there. I'm good, I'm a dip. I keep getting distracted watching movies I'm not interested in. Still, I didn't have much nostalgic with the first one, basically. I had heard they were making a sequel, don't know when, but I guess that's what kind of piqued my interest a bit, okay, you know what, I may check this one out, but if I'm going to check out the second one, I'm going to have to check out the first one. And having to see both films, I'm going to say this right off the bat. I really do enjoy both Beetlejuice films, but I probably enjoy the second one more than the first one. But I'm going to try to talk my thoughts real quick on both films. I don't have much thoughts, as far as I know, hopefully. But with me not having much thoughts, I'm hoping to try to make this video at least 10 minutes long. Or 15, I don't know. I got storage problems, unfortunately. But still, though, that's a topic. So yeah, going into this movie, I was shocked to find out that Eric Baldwin was in this movie. I'm like, what? He's in this movie? What the hell? I did not know that, but here's what I'm more shocked about, and I'd probably already brought this up on the channel. I'm more shocked to find out that the dude that plays Beetlejuice is Michael freaking Keaton. I don't know what I'm more shocked about. To find out that he played Batman, that my mom kept bringing up whenever we'd be watching Spider-Man Homecoming, and he'd be showing up as the Vulture in that movie, or to find out that he's Beetlejuice. I'm probably more shocked that he played this character than Batman. I mean, I didn't know what my mom was talking about until I had realized, oh, she was not kidding. He played Batman? Damn. But just with Beetlejuice, I'm like, Michael Keaton plays Beetlejuice? No, there's no way. I don't believe it. Now I kind of do. I'm still shocked. I was like, damn. Now I got 3 favorite roles from him. Him as the Vulture in the MCU, then him as the Batman, and now Beetlejuice. Probably my favorite roles I've seen him play in. Anyway, so thoughts on the first movie. So like I said before, I don't have much nostalgia with Beetlejuice. I I do at least recall watching this. Mainly just like a few scenes, like say I was just doing something and I come upon something that's on the TV that gets me distracted, if like my little siblings were watching a movie or something, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch this real quick, and alright, time to go. But like, I didn't watch the entire movie as a whole until now, as of recent. And like I said, I do enjoy both Beetlejuice films, and I would probably say the second one is my favorite than the first. Probably because I didn't grow up with the first one, only my mom did. But for negatives, I honestly don't know if I have any negatives for this movie. I mean, Beetlejuice isn't in the movie as much, unfortunately, but I wouldn't say that as a nitpick. Sure, he may have limited screen time, but I will say this. Michael Keaton ate up his screen time pretty good as Beetlejuice. But like I mentioned before, I don't think I have any negatives for this. I don't have much nostalgia with it, but what really carried this movie for me, and what I enjoy most about it, is probably the main leads of this movie, which would be the Maitlands. So, earlier they're on like vacation to this house they're at, and they tragically pass away by getting into a car crash, thanks to a dog not watching the road as it was crossing by. But yeah, they are the main characters in this movie, and they do try to scare away some folks that move in, which would be the Dietz family, and they kind of fail miserably, and they try to call up Beetlejuice, and yeah, they call him up, and he causes mayhem in this movie, and also is interested in taking Lydia's hand in marriage. But yeah, well, I did enjoy Michael Keaton's performance as Beetlejuice. He's definitely a standout in this movie, even though he has limited screen time. Again, what really carried this movie for me, and what I was mainly invested in, was just the Maitlands. I would honestly be best friends with them if I had Lydia's ability, which, by the way, she can apparently see dead people in this movie. But yeah, that's honestly all I could say about the first movie. I enjoyed Michael Keaton's performance. The Maitlands really carried this movie for me. I may not have much nostalgia with it, but I had fun watching this movie. But my rating for this movie will probably be between a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. But overall, yeah, I had fun with this movie. Alright, I only have 9 minutes left to record, but I meant to bring this up, because as I'm editing this video, I totally forgot to bring up about this photo. So, yeah, quick story. After me and my mom went to go see Beetlejuice Beetlejuice on Friday, before I walked out the door, I noticed someone was there. When I noticed their foot just holding the door. So I took a quick look before they didn't notice. They probably noticed me, but I knew who was at the door, so I let my mom go first. Like, hey, why don't you go first? Ladies first anyways. And then Beetlejuice kind of scared the crap out of her. It was awesome seeing a theater employee dress up as Beetlejuice, and I just had to get a photo. So yeah, I may have not dressed up as Beetlejuice to go see Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, but hey, it was cool to see someone dress up as him after the movie was over. But anyways, that's a quick backstory. So now, back to the double movie review for Beetlejuice. Now, as for the second movie, which would be Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, I'd say this is probably a superior sequel, and an overall good legacy sequel. Now, for this, I probably only have one major nitpick, because I can't think of any nitpicks I have for the first movie, as far as I recall. I mean, I could say that Beetlejuice wasn't in this movie that much, but Michael Keaton kind of ate up his screen time, so I'll let that slide. But for this one, no, he's got more screen time. Now, that is something I will take from this movie, because I wanted to see more Beetlejuice, pretty much, and that's what I got. I got more Beetlejuice in this movie. But still, I only have like one nitpick from this movie, but I'm going to get to that in a sec, so I'll start off with the pros. The best part about this movie is just Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice himself. I wanted to see more of him, and that's what I got in this movie. And honestly, this was a really good movie to start off the Halloween season. I mean, September and October are just basically spooky season month for me, because it's never too early for Halloween, because September is basically Halloween Eve for spooky month, which will be in October. But still though, this movie does take place around Halloween, so I kind of like how this, got ya hyped up for the spooky season coming up. This movie was a lot of fun for me. There was definitely some funny moments here and there. The cast were likable, and like I said, Beetlejuice carried this movie for me. Also, I think I could do a pretty good Beetlejuice voice impression. I need it upstairs. Let's go, honey. I swear I'm a dim of the soul. Oh, yikes. It's showtime. Never seen that trick before in my life. Or afterlife. Alright, who's willing to spill their guts? Alright, I will. See, I'm willing to do the work. I would like to thank everyone for coming to this special occasion, but right now we'd like a little more privacy, please. Ah, damn, I really wish I dressed up as him when I went to go see this movie. Okay, you know what? I know I mentioned I wasn't going to bring up spoilers, but now I kind of want to bring up slight spoilers for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. So if you've not seen it, I would recommend checking it out. It's honestly a great time at the theater, so if you've not seen the movie, you're missing out. I recommend go checking it out. Alright, I'm gonna bring in spoilers in 3, 2, 1, go. So, where do I begin? So the one negative I have for this movie that's probably holding it back on my rating, because I would give this a 9 out of 10, but the nitpick is holding it back, so I'm like, I could say I'm between an 8.5 or 9 out of 10, but with this negative I have for this movie, it's just holding it back for me. So I could be giving this movie an 8.5 out of 10, but what is my negative I have for this? So, there's lots of storylines going on in here. Now, I know that could be annoying for some folks, but the problem I have with this movie having that many storylines is that they don't get satisfying conclusions. I mean, I was shocked to notice that, oh, dang, we got like 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 storylines going on in this movie. Okay, this should be interesting. There was one I was actually invested in, and it had to do with this character named Dolores, who is revealed to be Beetlejuice's ex-wife. That was unexpected, but had me intrigued, especially when we got a backstory to how Beetlejuice became Beetlejuice. And actually, if you do rewatch the first movie, you notice while Beetlejuice is trying to marry Lydia, he pulls out a ring. Well, a severed finger with a ring. And I noticed that, oh my god, is that Dolores' finger? Oh, a connection. Oh my god, that's like a connection to the second movie. Because there's a scene where Dolores is brought back to life. She has to sew herself back up because she's been chopped up to pieces thanks to Beetlejuice here. Also, I'm shocked that Danny DeVito, if I pronounce his name correctly, had just like a small role in this movie. I'm like, he was just in there just for that small role? Just to be killed off by Dolores once she sucked his soul out? Damn! But back to topic. So, that was probably the one storyline I was invested in. As for the other storylines, there's one that has to do with Lydia trying to rekindle her relationship with her daughter Astrid, who kind of is not a fan of her mother because of her seeing ghosts, apparently. But the reason she's like against her mom is not only because of the ghost, because of the whole thing that happened about their dad passing away. And then we do get one involving Astrid and a boy in this movie. And I guess the fourth storyline could have to do with Delilah, just basically being heartbroken that her husband was unfortunately killed by a shark because his plane went down, and yeah, his top half was chopped off by a shark in the ocean. But yeah, I did not mind that we had like a couple storylines going on here and there. What really was the problem for me was that they didn't have satisfying conclusions. Like, the one I was invested in the most was with Dolores. I'm like, oh dang. Beetlejuice is toast if she gets her hands on him, mainly his soul. Like, they were honestly setting that up, only just that, like, she just gets killed off along with this other dude that is Lydia's boyfriend, Roy, who, in the trailers, I thought he'd be like a funny character I would end up liking. No, I was wrong. I was so wrong. There's a scene in this movie where he like proposes to Lydia at her dad's funeral. I'm like, oh my god, this is cringe. I can't. I was just embarrassed to watch. I could not watch it. I was basically probably in Astrid's shoes or something. There was just full on cringe there. But later in the movie, he's revealed to basically be a POS, and that he never bought off anything about Lydia believing in ghosts, and that her reality show was total BS, and just that he went to this couples retreat to prey on women. I don't know. You'll see once you watch the movie. Basically, he's not who he says he is. But I do wish we had more time with the whole father storyline, because Astrid does meet her dad in the afterlife as this boy named Jeremy, basically trying to swap lives with her, and just I gotta say this right off the bat. I thought there was something off with this dude. Hailing around when they're like in their room on Halloween night, I'm like, wait a second, something feels off. Why do I get the feeling something's off here? But it's later revealed that he's a psychopath because he ended up killing his own parents. And we do get to see them walk by, and I'm like, okay, that's totally sus. I was just saying that in a jokey way, but once we saw what really happened to them, and once you put it all together, I'm like, oh god, I was onto something. Oh god. He really killed his parents! And it's also revealed that Astrid does have her mom's ability where she could see ghosts, which would further explain how she was able to see him along with the parents. Like, just, no, that was something I should have saw coming, I guess? I think I saw that coming? I don't know. I can't tell if I saw it coming or not. I probably did, but didn't at the same time. But even though this storyline didn't get a satisfying conclusion, the way it ended was still slightly satisfying but funny to me. Because as soon as he gets his passport stamped. He's like, "You're too late, man." But I was like, "Oh God, no!" Until Beetlejuice came into the rescue. And honestly, I gotta say it's rather bad. You could say that Beetlejuice is a villain for the first movie, but in this one, you could say he's. I really would not say he's a villain. He's rather more of a trickster demon, as Lydia basically had said in the movie. But he's more of a menace. Just likes to have fun. Just cause mayhem. He's not really a bad person, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd say good, but I just see him more as a trickster demon that likes to cause mayhem and mischief. Also, I gotta say it's rather bad. I thought Delilah was a bit crazy in this movie. You could say I was getting slightly annoyed with her, but I do feel bad for how she sadly died in this movie. And how did she die? Oh, she fell for a scam when she bought off those poisonous snakes that apparently they defanged them, but nope. She fell for a scam, and, yeah, she basically died in the movie from 2 snake bites on the neck. Hey, I hate to say it, that's on her. She was just kind of a crazy person, being that upset over losing her husband to a shark attack, and I'm like, okay, woman, you are crazy. But I do feel bad that you had to die from a poisonous snake. In other words, a scam. But there are 2 standout characters for this movie. One, I thought was a hilarious character, which would be Willem Dafoe's character. He plays a cop in the afterlife, which, by the way, we do expand more into, like, the afterlife, so that's something I did enjoy about this movie, is that we're further expanded into this, afterlife world, if I'm using the name correctly. But yeah, when he was a human, he was a action movie star, but, was way too crazy for the stunts that got him killed, as, you know, you could see part of his brain, but yeah, he's basically a cop. But yeah, he's basically a cop in the afterlife. As for the other standout character, which would be Bob. R.I.P. Bob. You were gone too soon, man. Gone too soon. I'm gonna miss Bob. One last thing I will say that I enjoyed about this movie was that there was barely much CGI used for this movie, as Tim Burton wanted to use practical effects and, practical or special effects or a bit of both. Basically, he wanted to do it the old ways like he did it with the first movie. And by old ways, I don't know how I mean by that. I cannot find the right word, but yeah, basically, there were some good special effects in this movie. Practical effects, even. Especially when we had clay animation going on for what happened to Lydia's dad and how he was killed in a shark attack. But yeah, overall, my only nitpick for this movie is that the storylines don't have satisfying conclusions, and this is a really good time to have at the theater, and yeah, I overall do enjoy this movie more than the first one, but I like the first one because of the Maitlands, while I like this one because we get more Beetlejuice in this movie. And I was surprised with how the movie was ending until I knew something crazy was gonna happen at the end. Like, we're like going through time jump where Astrid ends up getting married and then is about to have a baby until we find out that the baby she's pregnant with is that freaking horrifying Beetlejuice baby. I'm sorry, that thing is horrifying. It almost looks like Chucky. But I thought the ending was a little bit much for me. Like, okay, that was a little bit much for me there. Thanks, Tim Burton. But yeah, my rating for this movie will be an 8.5 out of 10. And with that being said, those are just my thoughts on both Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Be sure to let me know in the thoughts comments down below and which movie is your favorite. Even though I would prefer the second one over the first one, I do enjoy both movies, and yeah, I do hope we get another Beetlejuice movie, which I unfortunately doubt because Tim Burton mentioned that don't expect a third movie. Well, what can I say? I like Michael Keaton's performance as Beetlejuice. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.